Hey everybody, it's Alexis and welcome to my channel. Today I have this cute crochet bag tutorial for you guys. It's a little bit of a fun take on a regular mesh bag, so I think it'll be really cute for spring. I also made the tutorial with this little mini bag, which actually turned out like so freaking cute. I'm gonna use it as just a little wall hanging decoration in my craft room. But like, how cute would this be for like a little kid? That's so cute and tiny. So if you guys are ready for a new tote bag, let's get into the tutorial. So for this bag, I am using my 4.5mm hook. This is the exact yarn that I'm using, Yarn Bee, in the color Cafe au lait. But the main thing is probably just to have the same weight for medium if you want your bag to turn out kind of the same size. So first we're going to start off by making our slip knot. So I like to loop mine around my finger twice. Then once I do that, I'll take the back loop, bring it over once, leave that there, and then bring the back one all the way over and just pull up. And that is how I always make my slip knots. It's just what seems the easiest to me. And then for this bag, you're just going to want to chain with a multiple of 5. So for my big bag, I think I did about 45, and then you're going to do plus 4. So 45 plus 4. I think for this bag I did like 25 stitches plus 4. So something like that. Okay, now that we have our chain, you're going to want to yarn over and skip the first 3 stitches. So we're going to yarn over and double crochet into the 4th stitch. Once we're in, you're going to yarn over again and pull that through. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through 2 of those loops, yarn over and pull through both loops. And that is a double crochet, which that's the main stitch we're going to be doing this whole time. Now you're going to want to chain 3 and then skip the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and we're going to double crochet into the 4th stitch. So again, that's just a yarn over, go through, yarn over, pull through 2, and a yarn over, pull through 2. So now we're going to do another double crochet right next to that one. And now that we've done those 2 double crochets, we're going to repeat that sequence all the way down. So again, you're going to chain 3, then you're going to skip 3 stitches and go into the 4th, and then you're going to double crochet once in that stitch and then once in the stitch next to it. And you're going to repeat this for however long your starting chain is going to be. So once you've finished off, you should be ending on 2 double crochets. So next you're just going to chain 3 and turn your work. Once we turn, we're not going to chain anymore. We're just going to jump straight into 5 double crochets in each of your holes, for lack of better words. So you're just going to yarn over, go through, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. And you're going to do that 4 more times. So in each hole, you're going to have a cluster of 5 double crochets. And now that you have your 5, you're not going to chain 1, you're not going to do anything except go straight into the next cluster of 5. And once you've done a cluster of 5 double crochets all the way down, you're just going to do a double crochet into the top of the chain 3. So you're not going to go into that post, you're just going to go into the top of the chain 3. You can see right here. And that is our second row. So next we're going to chain 3 again, and we're going to turn our work. Then we're going to make a double crochet into the first stitch of our 5 cluster. Then you're going to chain 3, and then you're going to double crochet into the last stitch of a cluster and the first stitch of the cluster. So here's the last stitch, and right next to it would be the first stitch of the next cluster. And you can see those are just aligned right on top of our first row of those double posts. So again, we're just going to chain 3 and then make our 2 double crochets. And then we're just going to repeat this sequence all the way down. To finish off this row, you have your last chain 3, then you're going to double crochet into the last stitch of your cluster. And then you're also going to double crochet into the very top stitch of your chain 3. And that is the third row. So you're really just going to be repeating this sequence over and over, but I just wanted to show you again how to finish off the cluster row. So you're not going to go into this post, instead you're going to go into the top of the chain 3. So just like at the beginning, we go straight into the clusters. From the cluster, we're just going straight into the chain 3. And so you're just going to keep repeating this until your project is the length that you want. And then to finish off, I just cut my yarn tail. You know, in theory, I could have cut it really long to have something to like stitch all of my work together with, but it's fine. You just cut that and pull it through, and that'll tighten into a little knot. Now next thing you're gonna wanna do is choose your right side and your wrong side. So this pattern is actually reversible, so the front and the back are gonna look exactly the same, but if you're like me with my original bag, I had to add some more yarn, so I had a little knot on one side. So with the way that I'm stitching, you can choose a front and a back, and you're going to want to have right sides together. That way when you flip it inside out after you're done stitching it all together, the wrong sides will be on the inside, so that knot won't be visible from the outside when you're wearing your bag. So to start off my seaming, I just make a little knot up at the top to secure my yarn in place and start with the edges connected. And then I'm just going to start weaving back and forth between the sides. I just try and keep my work as even as possible so that the patterns line up, and I just start weaving back and forth. I go from same side to opposite side, if that makes sense. So I'll pull through here and then I'll go back in on the same side to get to the other side. And that's just how I do it all the way down and around my project. Okay, and once you have the whole thing seamed together, minus the top, so you actually have an opening in your bag, you're just gonna want to turn the whole thing inside out. And now you finally have your right sides facing out, and hopefully your edges will look nice and clean. And now that we've got that stitched together, we can finally move on to making the straps. So to start off, again, you're just gonna make a slip knot. And I like to leave a decent tail, just a couple of inches, to have something to seam on your straps to the bag whenever you're done. Just makes it easier. And for the straps, this can be any number of starting chains that you want plus 1. So I think I do about 5 plus 1, so I start off with 6. But again, that's just really up to you depending on how long or how wide you want your strap to be. And you could see me there like measuring against the bag. I like to make it about the length of one of those little holes, just so it's a little easier to blend in, and you'll see what I mean later. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna skip this first chain and go into the second one, and you're going to go into the back loop only, and you're just gonna single crochet all the way down. So the stitch I'm using for my straps is called the thermal stitch. It can seem a little bit complicated at first, but once you get the hang of it, it actually is really easy, and I use it for most of the straps for my crochet bags just because it's nice and sturdy. So once you've made it all the way down, you're just going to chain 1 and turn. And for this stitch, it's easiest to kind of hold your work sideways, because what you're going to be doing is going into the back loop of your stitches and going straight down into the loops underneath. You can see I struggle a little bit with the first chain, but it gets a lot easier as you keep going down to find the spots, I promise. The first 3 rows of this stitch are the hardest. So you're just gonna pull through and single crochet. Then you're gonna go into the back loop of the next stitch and go straight down into the next stitch underneath. And this is kind of going to create like a double layer, and that's what gives this stitch its thickness. So usually by the time you get to the last stitch, it's a little bit buried in there. It's normal for it to be like that. It's kind of gonna be like that the whole way. The last stitch will be a little sunken down, but that's fine, it's normal. You just have to dig for it a little bit. And here I am struggling. Okay, now we're going to chain one and turn again, and we're just gonna keep repeating this process. You're going to go into the back loop, and you're just gonna go straight down into this little bar right underneath. And you're really just gonna keep repeating that over and over again until your strap is the length that you want. If this stitch really is a little too complicated for you guys, feel free to use any stitch you want. You can even make just single crochet straps if that's what you'd like. I just really like the thickness and the sturdiness that this stitch gives, but I know it can be a little intimidating at first. But you can see how much clearer you can see this little ledge that you're just going to be crocheting into the whole time. So the stitch really does get easier, I promise. And now that your bag is the length that you want, we can just go ahead and figure out, or your strap is the length that you want, you can go ahead and start figuring out your placement. So for my actual big bag, I made 2 straps and I just placed them right underneath the little holes. So I just kind of stitched around the hole. From the edges, I think I skipped one and then I went into the second. So I usually make my bag straps about 24 to 25 inches, and you just kind of place them on there and stitch in a rectangular shape. It'll be the same way that I stitch on this one. Just wanted to show you guys how I made my big bag. So you're just gonna go ahead and thread your needle, which I actually cut a lot of that out because it was a struggle. And I'm just doing one strap for the sake of the tutorial. So I'm putting mine on the side, and I'm just gonna start weaving in and out and securing the strap to the bag. Once I've made it back around to the beginning, I'll just flip my bag over, and I just like to find a little space to make a little knot in, just to make it a little more secure before I start weaving in the end. And then after I've made that knot, I'll just choose like one strand to follow all the way up, and I'll just kind of hide it in there. And for my bigger bag, I think I might have made like another second knot somewhere. That's really up to you. It shouldn't be much of a difference either way. And then I'll just snip that, and then I'll do the same on the other side. Also, I can't believe I didn't see that piece of blue fabric. And now our bag is technically complete, but I just wanted to show you guys how I made that little bow on my bags. It was really simple. I just chained like a basic starting chain, and I made that a couple inches long. And once I was done, I just cut it and pulled it really tight so that it like formed the knot in on itself. And then you can cut those however short you'd like, and you can just tie it in a little bow anywhere you want. For my regular bag, I put it on the strap, but for this one I'm just going to tie it on a post so that it can still be facing forwards. And that is the end of the tutorial, guys. You finished your bags. I really hope that you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope it was easy for you guys to follow. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I'll try to get to you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!